Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I'll be showing you 10 different decorating ideas for Christmas. These are really simple ideas, nothing fancy, and most of these items you probably have in your home already. And I'm sure a lot of these things you have probably seen before or maybe done yourself, but sometimes we just need to be refreshed on some of those ideas, or I do. And that is the goal with this video. Maybe you're just looking for some last minute things and you don't want to run to the store to buy them or don't want to spend the money. And I thought maybe this would give you guys some ideas. So let's get to it and I'll show you what I've got. So first I have these paper stars that I've made in the years past, and they just are so cute to add to any Christmas display, whether it's a garland or maybe even hanging from your tree. And they're so much fun because you can use any design you wish. In this case, I downloaded an image of musical notes paper, and I just printed that out, and I think it's so fitting for the Christmas season. I hope you guys can tell here what I'm doing. It's really hard to explain. It's almost easier to just watch someone fold this paper to create these stars. So the next little project is a boxwood tree, and what I'll be using is a wet florist foam, which I soaked in water for around an hour. And for some reason, I don't have a boxwood shrub on this property. We had some removed last summer, and I really miss it. I definitely need to plant some, but I ended up going out to my sister's house. She has a few of them, and she gave me permission to trim some of her little sprigs off to use. So what you want to do here is get somewhat of a cone shape. It doesn't have to be perfect because your boxwood sprigs will hide the imperfections. I don't know about you guys, but I love snow globes. I just think they bring back such good memories of being a little girl and, you know, shaking them and just wishing I was little, that I could be inside that snowy world. The only globes I've created so far were just using, you know, jars, glass containers, and then the fake snow and the little houses and the trees, which that's, you know, cute too. But I thought this year I'm going to give it a shot and actually use, you know, water and glitter. So what I did with the quart jar was use a whole cup of glycerin and added water, and I soon discovered it was probably too much glycerin, so I would probably recommend maybe just a half cup to a quart. And this little cardinal I got at Dollar General, and I am using a Gorilla Glue, a super glue, to glue it onto a wide mouth jar lid. And I'm probably not going to follow all the rules that I read online about letting it set for days before putting it into the water. I probably should, but I'm going to try it without. So far I have just let this glue set for maybe an hour, and I'm also not going to glue my lid shut because I feel these jar lids have a rubber seal and they are made to stay for that water to stay inside. So I'm going to try it without gluing, although it may be a good idea if you, especially if you have little children around, to use maybe an E6000 glue or something to glue that shut. I had so much fun making the snow globe that I decided to make another one, and I'm planning on using just a little bit less glycerin. I had used 1 cup of it for a quart size jar, and I believe that was a little bit much. The snow swirls nicely, but it almost clumps together, and I think that may be why. And also I wanted to mention my glycerin is outdated by about 4 years, so I'm not sure if you would have new glycerin, would it actually even take less? I'm not sure about that. I guess you would just need to play around with it. That's kind of what I did. I just added it until the water seemed thicker. So I feel like my Christmas decorations aren't complete without making some sort of wreath. So that's what I'll do with this project. I am going to try to make a lantern using picture frames from Dollar General. I paid $3 a piece for them, and what I'm planning on doing is gluing them together to kind of form a box. I'm going to use E6000 glue, and then I printed out some pictures, some family pictures on regular copy paper, and I'm planning on kind of taping or gluing that onto the glass of the frames. And then I thought when I have a candle burning or light a little bulb inside the lantern, it would kind of show through the pictures. So for one of my projects, I wanted to make a nativity scene. I'll probably just keep it really simple with just Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus. And I found this recipe on Pinterest to make a homemade modeling clay, like an air clay. So I thought I'm going to use that to create these little figures. And I was really impressed with this recipe. It's turning out to be really smooth. It's still just a little bit sticky, so trying to work some more cornstarch into it. That's what it said to do, is just keep working some cornstarch in. I ended up using a lot more than I had anticipated, but it's turning out really nice here. So I have a piece of wire here that I'll use for Joseph's cane, and I'm planning on gluing these parts together. As this clay dried, it ended up getting some cracks, as you can see. So I imagine I probably put in too much cornstarch. Not quite sure. I've never made modeling clay before, but next time I would probably just go with less and see what happens. So another really simple wall decoration for Christmas that I like is just taking a flat box and wrapping it with craft paper and then decorating it a bit to make it look like a gift. I always like the simple, neutral look of it. You could of course also use, real wrapping paper with designs or whatever, but for our home I think it looks best to stick with maybe craft paper and then adding some ribbon or a word or some greens. This next little idea is really simple. It's basically just using a glass tube that would be, for a candle holder, and dipping it in water and then in Epsom salts, and that, the salts will stick to the rim, making it look kind of frosty. And then sometimes I like to wrap a piece of paper, maybe with a nice Christmassy design on it, around the tube. So for this little snowman, I used a sock and some rice, a couple rubber bands to make him. I dipped the sock in coffee just to get it kind of an off-white color, but you really wouldn't have needed, to do this if you wanted a pure white snowman. And I used a men's size large crew sock, and a tube sock would have worked much better. I didn't have one on hand, that's why I just used the crew sock. And for his cap, I just cut off the end of the sock and I used that. And I think even another color would have looked kind of cute for this guy. And a few other things I probably would have used had I had it on hand. I probably would have had maybe brown buttons or tan buttons and real eyes, like the plastic kind you can get for crafts. I think that would have looked really cute. I just ended up coloring them in with a marker and it did kind of bleed. And then for the nose, I just used some orange paper. Really, you could do anything with him, you know, as far as coloring and decorating him. But overall, he's pretty cute, I think. This next project is really simple. I'm just going to use some paper that I have on hand. In this case, it's wallpaper and then also some gift wrap. You can use any paper, whether it be scrapbooking or maybe you just want to print off something from online, a design you like. And if you are interested in this wallpaper that I'm using, I should mention it is available on my Etsy shop. I still have some left over. It's such a pretty print. I use it all the time on furniture, and I thought it would even go with, you know, making a little palm tree. What you do is you just cut out a circle, and then you cut a wedge into the circle, and the wider your wedge is, the more narrow your tree base will be. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This will probably be the last Christmas decorating video for this season. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching this, and I hope you all have a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in next week's video. Bye!